Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. So first of all, let me thank all of you for subscribing and supporting my channel. We are 100 plus members now. I thank all of you and I hope I can upload many more videos in the future. So if you are watching this channel for the first time and if you're liking this video, please do subscribe. Keep watching. So this video is something different. Something in the sense, it's a question and answer session. I'm going to answer some of your questions that you have asked in the karate videos in the comment section, and I'm taking only those questions which are not covered in any of our previous tutorial videos. Okay, so some of them are actually answered in the comment section itself, but I'm taking that too here so that everyone will know those features. So if they are coming up with those kind of queries, so it will be easy for them to identify the course. So shall we start? So let us start. So let us go to our first question. Hello, could you please highlight the implementation and usage of dollar keyword in karate? So what is dollar keyword in the karate framework? So dollar it's actually referring to your JSON root. It's a reference to your JSON root. So how can we use this dollar keyword in our program? So let us see an example with dollar keyword. So I've written a feature file that is checking the API response data, and I'm checking one of a particular field that is email values this like a match response and a third call. Okay, let's run this now. So the test is passed. This is data is being taken from the result2.json, which is having the expected JSON this data. Okay, so as I said, what is this dollar keyword? It is actually referring to a JSON root. So what is JSON root here? It is response, right? Response means a JSON root. And from there we are navigating to other fields like response dot data dot email like that, right? So instead of response, what you can do, you can simply give dollar. Now let us run this. See, our test is still passed. So you can use the dollar keyword instead of response keyword, but you cannot use it everywhere. Like if you are trying to print out the value with a dollar keyword, then it usually give no data. See, we are trying to print out this value, but there is no data. Instead of this, now if I try to give response, now if you go to the print statement, you can see the data. So if you're printing something, if you want to print something, then make use of a response keyword, that is better. But if you're doing some assertions called like something you want to match with, then you can make use of dollar keyword. Okay, so let's move to the next question. You have covered maximum in assertions. Can you add for data types also, like and match dollar data dot id contains integer or string? I'll show you an example how we can check this. Suppose I have a response and I have a number in our response. Okay, let us go to our result2.json, the same response. Yes, we have few fields that is having some number value, right? Pages integer, per pages integer, total pages, all these fields values are integer. So I just want to check, okay, the field value is an integer or the field value is a string in the response. I've shown you an example that how can we ignore a particular field while comparing the JSON, right? How can we ignore a particular field while comparing? Instead of this particular value, we can simply just give hash ignore, right? We have many other markers also available in karate framework that also I've already shown in some one of the previous video, that is it is under fuzzy matching. You can just refer that. We have so many markers and the descriptions, right? So in that video I mentioned how we can put it in the response section or the expected JSON file. But the question here is like just want to check whether the data is having the integer or string in the feature file itself, not in the expected JSON response file. Okay, then we will see with an example. Same way we can check and match response. So let me just give this print. Okay, response dot, okay, the page value say number, right? So I'll give page. Now I want to check whether this is an integer or not. So let us go to the section. Here you have an option called number, that is we are expecting actual value to be a number. So just put a quote and here you can give number. So it will check whether this page field value is a number or not. Let's run this. That is just passed. In the similar way, we can check this is a string, right? So in the same way, we can check if it is a string or not. This is passed. Let us do a negative case. I'm giving number instead of string. Then it should fail, right? And it fail, and I'll see the failure reason. Actual value is this, but we are expecting a number, right? The reason is not a number. The failed reason is it's not a number. So it is working fine. You can give string. And it's just not like number and string. They have something like, I'll show you one more, that is not present. I think in one of my initial videos I've shown you like how can we check whether a particular field is not there in the response or not. So in that video how we have done that, we have stored the value of that particular field in a variable and we check whether the response is equal to, the value is equal to null or not, right? Or you can use a simple method that, okay, let me give some field that is not actually presenting in this response. Let me give some student and you can simply give not present, and this is passed. So as I mentioned in that particular video, you cannot check if it is not equal to null or equal to null. If the field is not actually presenting in that response, it will throw the error. So this is either of these two methods you can use. Either you can store the value of that particular field in a variable and check the value is null or not, or you can simply do a not present check. So let us move to the next question. Okay, the next question is related to a code. Now, the question is not exactly like this, so that's why if not put the screenshot, I simply gave a code here. So the question was something related to this, like a function. They are having a function that is having some multiple arguments, and he's trying to call out that function by passing the arguments, but he is getting an error. So what happens if we write a function in like this? So we will just duplicate this function in our code and let's see what happens to the end result. So I've added the function over here and I've added one of the print statement also to print out the value of result, and let us run this file. And let us go to our console. Even though it is passed, we have to check the result value, right? Are expecting the result should be 3, but you can see one comment over the result value is not printed, it is blank, it is empty, and also we can see an line over here, not a JS function or a feature file sum of 1 2, not a JS function or a feature file. So there is some error. It is shown, but the feature file is passed. If you are checking the result, the count is scenario one is passed, but there is no failed cases. But we are not getting the expected result, right? The issue is the way that we are passing the arguments. Here we are passing multiple arguments, right? In all our videos, we learned how to pass a single argument. So how do we used to pass single argument? We used to pass like this, right? After the function name, we used to give the argument like this by putting a space. But here you are having two arguments, so you cannot give it like that also. But then what you can do is just remove the call keyword and again write the same sum of 1 2. Now we got the result. See, the value is 3, right? So if you are having multiple arguments, you can do like this. You don't need to use the call keyword. You can just call the function name and then pass the argument name. And now you can validate the result like and match result equal to 3, or since it's a number, you can assert result equal to 3, or what you can do in a single line only, you can assert the value like this star assert, and then here only you can call the function sum of 1 2 equal to 3. See, we got the result is pass. Of course, the assert statement is correct. So let's move to the next question. Excellent video, but please post a video how to implement to save a global variable. Why do you use the access token of the answer in the header? So here what I meant to say is he just wants to create a global variable. So global variable in the sense, let's go to a feature file. I've modified the test with some two scenarios. So now this feature file we are having two scenarios, test 1 and test 2, and I'm setting a field here that is a1 and giving a particular value that is 1. And if I'm trying to print out the value of a1 in the second scenario, what will happen? We will be getting null, right? The result won't be 1 because this particular field is local to the first scenario and it won't be available in the second scenario, so we'll be getting the null value. It won't show any error, but it will be null. But then let's see, if you are printing, if you're giving it here, and now if you are changing the value to, then and we are printing it in the scenario 2. Then what value we are getting? The value that we have defined in the background section, not in the scenario. Even if you are doing any changes to the variable in the scenario level, it won't be available to the other scenario. So what he is asking, like how it can reflect other scenarios as well. It's just like a global variable. But in karate, I don't think we have a global variable concept because they don't recommend features that are depend on each other. Because if you are doing like that, then the scenario 2 will be dependent on scenario 1, right? So they don't recommend features based on that. Instead, you can just remove this particular scenario and you can do whatever you want. You can do multiple good calls, anything. So it's always better that your scenarios are independent. But they have provided one feature that is karate config.js that we all know, like we already saw in our previous videos, that if you are setting some variable value in the karate config.js, like this, then that value will be available to all your scenarios in the feature files. It will be available all the scenarios in our all feature files. But as you know, after running each feature file, the karate config.js will be called. So the value will be again getting reinitialized every time, right? So we cannot write a global variable like that. So the question was, why do I use the access token of the answer in the header of the next service, and the answer of that service is the header authorization of the next service, and so on. So you can do that by writing everything in a single scenario. We have seen such an example in the data driven test, right? Here what we are doing, we are giving the path, we are calling the path by taking the result dot data dot id. This result is coming from this API call response, right? The API call response is this result, and we are taking the id value from there, and then we are passing into the path variable, right? So we can write everything in a single scenario instead of making the scenarios dependent on each other. Background section is also whatever fields we are giving in the background section, it is also getting reinitialized every time after running each scenario. So after one scenario completed, background section will be again called, then it will call the next scenario. So the a1 will be getting, the a1 value will be getting reinitialized every time. So it's always, you can make your scenarios independent. And if you're finding some solutions how to write a global variable, you can please share it in the comment section. So let us move to the next question. Hi, this is really helpful, but I want to write the entire response of an API to CSV or Excel file. Please upload a video for that. So actually, I've already uploaded video that how to write the data or any response fields to a text file, right? So it's a similar way you can write the data to API. I mean, you can write the response fields or response anything your CSV or Excel file also. I've tried the same with Excel and CSV, but it is the same process, so you can just refer that video. So next question is, hi, thanks for the series, I'm loving it, but we're having one doubt. If we feel difficulty in writing JavaScript methods, can we create our own step definitions in feature file, our own step in feature file, and can we write our own step definitions using Java? So in karate, everything is like inbuilt. So you need not have to write any step definitions using Java. So if you want to write any custom step definitions, and that is also not allowed in your feature file, it will simply throw the error that step definition method match not found. Okay. But they gave us many options that to call the external Java file, and also if you want to write some, if you want to do some logic, you can write it in external Java file, and you can just call the Java file. If you are feeling some difficulty in writing the JavaScript methods. So hope it clear. So let's move to the next question. Please show an example on how to upload an external file like PDF using Karate framework. So guys, I don't have an example that will upload some PDF. I don't have an API example to upload PDF. That's why I'm not doing a video for uploading the file like PDF. But I'll show you how to do that. When you go to the Karate GitHub and just search for multi-part, and in the request section you will have some multi-part files, all these kinds of features. So just go through that. Here they have provided the example like how to upload video file, all these things. And if you're going to the in the GitHub, they have multi-part file examples also. Okay. So let's refer all these examples and try to upload the PDF file with your API test. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. So please click the like button and also please to subscribe to my channel. Keep watching. Thank you. Bye.